In February of this year, the President of the United States ordered every federal agency to immediately stop using one of the world's most powerful AI systems. Not because it was built by a foreign adversary, because an American company refused to let the government use it without limits. That moment may have been the first crack in a world order that is about to change more dramatically than anything since the Industrial Revolution. I'm John Tucker. This is Bible and Bytes. Here's what happened. Anthropic, the company that builds Claude, was given an ultimatum by the Pentagon. Grant us unrestricted access to your AI model or lose your government contract. Anthropic's CEO said publicly the company could not, in good conscience, agreed to terms permitting mass surveillance of Americans or autonomous weapons with no human oversight. The Pentagon designated Anthropic a supply chain risk to national security. The president ordered all federal agencies to stop using Claude immediately. Think about what that represents. A private company, not elected, not accountable to voters, held technology powerful enough that the most powerful government on earth wanted unrestricted control of it, and that company said no. Right now, 4 or 5 private companies control the most powerful AI systems on earth. Between them, they hold technology that can conduct surveillance, influence elections, diagnose disease, and increasingly think. And it's growing faster than any regulatory framework can keep up with. Capitalism was built for a world where the means of production were physical, factories, land, labor. AI breaks those rules because the most valuable thing it produces isn't a physical product, it's intelligence itself. And intelligence at this scale creates a concentration of power our institutions were never designed to handle. Which brings us to the practical question every government is quietly starting to ask. When AI and robots eliminate the need for most human labor, how do people survive? How does an economy function? And when the connection between work and income is broken, the answer that keeps coming up is universal basic income. And some economists are now talking about universal high income, genuine prosperity for everyone, made possible because AI drives costs so low that abundance becomes the new normal. But here's the tension. That sounds a great deal like socialism, government redistribution of wealth generated by privately owned AI systems. And when 4 or 5 private companies control most of that wealth, how does that redistribution actually work? Do governments tax them at rates that would have seemed confiscatory a generation ago? Do they nationalize AI infrastructure? These are not hypothetical questions anymore. Thomas Jefferson wrote words that became the foundation of the American experiment. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Notice where Jefferson locates the source of our rights, not in government, not in the market, in the Creator. Government doesn't grant those rights. It exists to secure them. That's why the framers built a deliberately limited government. Concentrated power, they believed, was the standing threat to rights that came from God rather than from men. But here's the question that should keep us up at night. The framers designed those limits with one kind of power in mind, the power of the state. They never imagined a world where a handful of private entities might hold something comparable. And now we may be approaching exactly that. So which way does the danger run? If AI power stays concentrated in private hands, we have enormous influence over speech, work, and information held by organizations no one elected. But if government seizes control to prevent that, we hand the state precisely the concentrated power the framers spent their lives trying to prevent, which is exactly what the Anthropic Pentagon standoff was really about. Jefferson gives us no easy answer, but he gives us the right starting question. Not who should own AI, but what arrangement best secures the rights God gave us. Because if those rights come from our Creator, then no arrangement, corporate or governmental, that treats human beings as means rather than ends can be legitimate, however efficient it looks. We don't know yet whether capitalism will adapt, whether some hybrid of private innovation and public distribution will emerge, or whether this concentration of power proves incompatible with the values the West was built on. What we do know is that the world is changing faster than our institutions can keep up, and people of faith need to be part of that conversation. What do you think? Can capitalism survive the AI revolution, or are we going to need something completely new? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read everyone, and if this episode made you think, share it with someone who needs to hear it. I'm John Tucker. See you next week.